Welcome to the Century National Bank High School Basketball Game of the Week on WHIZ-TV, presented by Century National Bank. Whatever's on your project list, let's talk loans. Brought to you in part by Kokonis Furniture and Mattress First in South Zanesville. Zanesville and Route 79 just south of Heath, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. By Fink's Quality Cars and RVs, Fink's Harley Davidson, Fink's Southside Collision, and Fink's Easy Leasing and Rental. By Mideast Career and Technology Centers, imagine an education as unique as you. By Norvell's Hearing Centers in Zanesville and Cambridge, always here for you. By Denny's Classic Diner. And by Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Scoreboards are provided by the Finks family of motor vehicles and services with instant replay coverage, courtesy the Ohio Educational Credit Union. 24/7 banking convenience wherever and whenever you need it. In today's game, the Muskies and the Generals fight for the MVL. This is the Century National Bank Game of the Week on WHIZ-TV.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Game of the Week. I'm Kevin Rouch, along with the coach, Doug Clifford. We are at Sheridan High School in Thornville. They take on the John Glenn Muskies, and coach, tonight, these are two teams over the past few years especially, not really natural rivals, but they've become basketball rivals.
Well, they have. Both programs have been excellent in the past, and we're going to have a really good game again tonight, too.
Undefeated Sheridan coming in, that's really no surprise. John Glenn, a couple of losses, losing to Crooksville and Warren, but you know when they get together, it is such a well-coached game. My guess is we won't see a big separation tonight between these teams.
Well, it is both well-coached teams, but I noticed that John Glenn's both their losses have been on the road, and that's where they're at right now, and it's going to be a tough place for them to get a win.
It is a tough place to play here at Sheridan. They've had so much success. What's interesting, Coach, is they seem to lose players, really good players like an Ethan Heller, who graduated last year, and they just continue to roll on.
Well, I think we said it in our football broadcast the other day. Tradition doesn't graduate, and that's no more true than any place than Sheridan High School.
Well, we're looking forward tonight. Ought to be a really good one again. John Glenn here at Sheridan. We'll be back with the tip-off right after this. The anthem has been sung. The lineups have been announced. We are ready, or almost ready, for our tip-off. There you see John Glenn. The starters for John Glenn tonight will be Bo Aricchio, Reese Perkins, Ben Judd, Avery Palmer, and Devin Burris. For the home Sheridan Generals, it'll be Lucan Hill, Landon Russell, Shea Taylor, Logan Ranft, and Ethan Malone. Obviously, John Glenn in the road Maroons. Tip will go to Sheridan to start us out. It'll be Landon Russell to run the point tonight, working against a 3-2 zone. Usually requires a little more patience, Coach. And that's
nice
why
block.
right there, good block.
Reese Perkins.
Quickly, he had Perkins down the baseline. Ran out of room, and Lucan Hill pulls down the rebound quickly ahead. Shea Taylor into the corner it goes. That's Malone. It gets kicked all the way back out. Little backdoor cut, but good defense.
I thought that was going to be a taken to the basket that time.
Yeah, Devin Burris at 6'9" kind of prevented that. And there's Reese Perkins again to grab the rebound. Palmer back to Perkins. Now Palmer. Sheridan running a man-to-man. And Burris down low. Backs his way in, but then poked away from behind. Lucan Hill on the steal.
That was about the smoothest steal I've ever seen.
Nice pass into Logan Ranft. So Sheridan on the board first tonight here at home. Now they'll go into a little 2-3 zone. So changing it up here early, Coach, trying to keep John Glenn off kilter just a little bit. Actually, maybe more of a 1-2-2 matchup the way they're running it. Burris in the middle with it. He'll go for that 14-footer. I think it was partially blocked. Let's see, it was.
I think Lucan Hill got a hand on that thing. It's a nice defensive play.
Burris will come out, again, 6'9".
I mean, he'll knock that ball away when it easily could have been a foul situation. And the athlete that he is, he made no contact except with the ball.
Braden Young in there. In fact, he falls along the baseline, jumps right back up. Sheridan starting to put on a little more pressure here, which they run well. They go backdoor, and good steal by Malone. And Russell will take the air out of it. Ramp to the top. Hill. They'll lob it in the wing. That's Malone. Back out to Russell at the top. Now Hill to the lane he goes. Nice pass backside. And
wow.
Laying it in is Shea Taylor.
What a pass. I mean, that was perfect.
John Glenn trying to win the battle down the floor, but Ramft able to steal it away. Right back to the lane. Nice pass. There's Taylor again. Underneath. Strong off the board. Good. And we're going to get a quick timeout. We will take that timeout. All 6 points in the bucket by the Generals. 6-0. They lead it early going here in the first quarter. After the timeout, John Glenn brings it up against the press. They create a 2-on-1. And Palmer all the way in, his shot blocked. Taylor up with it. He'll run it up floor. Quick pass ahead to Malone. Up strong, and he gets the bucket. So what should have been a 2-on-1 layup situation for John Glenn goes the other way.
Well, it was a 2-on-1, and Sheridan had him outnumbered 1-2.
Judd on the baseline. He likes that spot on the block. Turn around, no good off the board, and Malone with the rebound. Again, Sheridan going to quicken the pace tonight. Lucan Hill way out.
Has every point Sheridan scored come as a result of a turnover?
You know, I believe they have. And they were so good in transition right after that, Coach. Long shot. Hill can't get it to come. Sorry,
nice.
That was Russell on the shot.
That would have been a great play had it not been for Reese Perkins for John Glenn.
Perkins is going to take it himself in traffic, puts it up and gets it. I don't know how he got it through there. He thought he was fouled.
How he got through there without a foul is mystifying to me.
But he gets the first bucket of the night for the Muskies. And they're running that zone, trying to create a little trap pressure in the corners. Taylor, a little backdoor ramp.
Wow,
back.
Nice shot.
What a reverse layup.
Oh, man. That was pretty.
Rant has such good speed. Saw that in football, and he gets down that baseline, and John Glenn just not looking on that backside to seal in the zone. Perkins down the baseline. He comes off the board good, and this time he will get the foul.
Yes, he does.
Of course, we know so many of these names, Coach, from football, and Reese Perkins, one of the better receivers, I think, not only in the area, maybe in the state.
You know, he was a human highlight film anytime he took the field.
He had so many one-handed catches, just very confident, good defender as well. And this one in and out, but he's got all 4 of his team's points. Judd there, though, to get the offensive rebound. John Glenn will retool. Judd playing that high post now will retreat. Got a couple of guys that can play down low. Judd likes to do it as kind of the strong guy. Of course, Burris at 6'9" is the other guy that's comfortable down low. John Glenn good at setting screens away from the ball. There you see a Burris wide open at the top. Judd will battle for it out of bounds and belong to Sheridan.
That's a call that could have gone either way.
Either way, they both had a hand on it. If we were in the NBA, they might be going back to Secaucus to figure that one out. Under 3 minutes to go now in this first quarter. Sheridan showing why they have gone undefeated, but Perkins steps into the lane. Reese Perkins all the way. We're going to get a blocking foul. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
Well, after not getting a call on his first basket, he's gotten a
well, that ball went through.
Next two, yeah.
Yep, sorry. That ball goes through, so count it. He'll have another shot here at a three-point play. So Reese Perkins single-handedly keeping his team in the game. Free throw up, and there you go. Gets them within 3.
Well, you could almost give him the title of most likely to intercept anything.
if there was a ball on a competing floor, he will grab it.
He could probably steal a pinball under the glass.
And he's that point out there in that 3-2, which means you got to mess with him just about anywhere in your offense. Nate Johnson out there now for Sheridan as well. Ramped the long shot. And on the floor, good hustle. Spin, Hill will go up. Close to getting a held ball, but instead it will be a foul.
He's going to draw a foul.
I don't think they're going to say it was on the floor. Now we'll go against Ben Judd.
Well, here's another little tidbit, Kevin. I don't think Sheridan's made a shot from outside the layup range.
They have not. All 3 of them have been going to the hoop by Reese Perkins.
There's one.
There's a 3.
There's a three-pointer.
Well, I think both teams have had that going on.
Right.
Exactly. So Landon Russell with the 3. Perkins in the lane. Dishes out. Judd will take the 2.
Nice rebound.
Ramp pulls it away. Gets it to Russell. Landon Russell, right baseline. Surrounded. Ramp. Maybe one extra pass.
Yep, somebody should have gone over that and tried to draw a foul, if nothing else.
Daniel Miller into the game for the first time, 5'6" senior. And Ethan Malone back in there. We've seen a Sheridan, they like to get guys on and off the bench pretty deep. One of the guys off the John Glenn bench there, Braden Young with the number 32. Perkins. Go to the top, around to Young. The big fella Devin Burris away from the bucket. Parmer in the lane, thought better of it. Long 3 on the floor.
John Glenn is not getting very many second shots, I know that.
Nate Johnson the rebound, ahead to Malone. No good, and Burris will collect it.
Whoa.
Wait, you better be careful. You do have to give him room. Some fans for Sheridan took some umbrage with an elbow, but you got to at least let him move. Judd. Nice move into the lane, kicks it. Burris, this one he gets to go.
Nice touch.
First 2 points not scored by Reese Perkins and gets them back to within 4 under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Daniel Miller kicks it down to Nate Johnson. Johnson cross court to Russell. Baseline Malone, can't get the reverse. And this loose ball, John Glenn's going to pick up and then lose. Layup once, and then gets the second one. That's Landon Russell.
That's at least 3 shots down here for the Sheridan offense that time. That's a luxury John Glenn's not been able to enjoy so far tonight.
Little half-court pressure now by Sheridan. Perkins, see if he can take advantage. Has a 3-2 matchup.
Good pass.
Finds Burris, goes up, and can't get the layup. And taken away from him on the rebound. They were going to have it knocked out of bounds.
That could easily have been called a foul on Avery Parmer.
Skylar Bates in for John Glenn will replace Parmer. And they'll have to hurry on the bucket and can't get it to go. That'll end our first quarter. Pretty exciting. Little give and take there. Sheridan jumps out to an early lead. John Glenn battles back. Second quarter action coming up. We go to the second quarter here, and yes, we do have a score. It is 15-9, Sheridan on top after a quarter. Hey, we want to take some time, Coach. Both of us had to be away last week. Want to thank Nicole Hannas and Jeremiah McKenzie. Jeremiah working the scoreboard for us tonight. But they stepped in for us, and the good news for us is we got our jobs back.
Right.
But what I understand, it was a little less than a coin flip for us. So we beat the odds and came back.
Well, you know, just my luck.
Because it is basketball. It'll be John Glenn to start this second quarter with the basketball. And they're going to run against little man-to-man here. Sheridan been mixing it up. Not only man-to-man and zone, but a little half-court pressure as well. Perkins all the way in, lays it in.
Nice move to the basket by Perkins.
Reese Perkins now has 9 of his team's 11. And John Glenn staying with that 3-2, but that's where you can find the opening coming down that lane. Lucan Hill lays it in.
Nice pass by Russell.
Here's that half-court pressure trying to trap at midcourt. Use that midcourt line as a third man. And Perkins will looking now at a similar 3-2. Sheridan, tell you what, they've
just been about every combination of defense you can think of. Nice
Judd,
rebound by Hill.
Yeah, Judd had a good look, but Hill influenced the shot, then got the rebound. Perkins pokes it, but right there's Hill to grab it. Nate Johnson with the 3.
Count that one from the corner.
Just so many weapons for this Sheridan General team. Big fella in. He fed a little pressure from behind. Ball fight. Judd with it. But if you put it on the floor against Sheridan, they're going to take it.
Man.
Right there, Lucan Hill did just that. Daniel Miller, hands behind to Malone. There's another 3.
Threes are dropping in now.
Just like that, it's 12-point lead for the Sheridan Generals here at home. We'll take a quick timeout. Sheridan, a couple of threes in the row to stretch the lead. Timeout called by John Glenn after Sheridan puts a quick 6 on the board, a couple of three-pointers. The Generals not going to let up on the defensive pressure. They're going to put on a little full court press here, a little man-to-man press. No ball toward Perkins will be knocked out of bounds. He thought Malone might have pushed him a little bit. This game, they've let him play a little bit here, Coach.
Skylar Bates was a little upset with his teammates. Nobody was moving quickly enough for him to get the ball into him. There's a nice job. Break the press.
John Glenn bring it down. Reed Kokonis, the freshman, in there now for Sheridan, number 10. The only freshman listed on the varsity squad. And got a man-to-man defense set up by Sheridan. Perkins looked for the back door, couldn't get it there. Now Palmer out top. In there for the first time. And you get it to Perkins. That's Cortez Graves that's in there now. Down on the block being guarded by Taylor. Judd. And boy, just outside the line. I thought he might have had a toe on it. That was a big bucket right there for John Glenn. Switch the momentum.
We have the freshman playing point guard out here.
Kokonis, crossover. Might have had a little kick there, not called. Sheridan hangs on to it. With good passing around the perimeter, and Malone can't get it to go. Perkins with the rebound. He'll run it up himself. Gets double teamed out of his hands, and now we're going to get a foul call. Perkins, they've been pushing him around a little bit. Finally the call. Although it's gone both ways. I don't think anybody's had the advantage. Cortez and Bates come out for John Glenn. Oricchio back in there. He started the ball game. And also back in Devin Burrs, the center, 6'9", although he plays a lot away from the bucket. He's got a good stroke out from the outside. Taylor's the designated guard the guy on the block guy tonight for Sheridan.
Well, Sheridan's going back to the man defense.
And we're going to they're going to call Paul. Well, how many times you see that call now?
Well,
in our day, all the time.
All the time. Yeah, that and traveling both. But, both those things have kind of gone by the boards.
It almost has to be now an advantage. You almost have to do it to give yourself an advantage somehow.
It's like a rotary phone. They existed, but you just don't see them anymore.
You just don't. But that was a call against Perkins. Ramps into the lane, and that's how you beat that zone. You just go right down the middle, try to get behind the point guy. And Rampt, again, just good elevation. He's got 6. Well, it's just so hard when a defense switches up as much as Sheridan does to be able to establish your offense. Having said that, Judd will just take it right to the hole and score a layup.
Obviously, he didn't see the script.
He wasn't listening to me.
No.
Kokonis, the long three, and there's Perkins to sky above everybody else for the rebound. He's going to go coast to coast. We're going to get a foul. Could have got a kick as well, but they're going to call the foul. That will be, it's going to go against Russell. His second, Sheridan's fourth of this first half. John Glenn's only been called for one. So again, they've been giving and getting two. Palmer wide open on the three, and he nails it.
Nice shot.
Gets his team to within 6.
Yeah, every time Sheridan just stretches that lead a little bit, John Glenn comes back with a key score.
Hill finds Russell. Gets good position, but a couple of guys blocking that one, as both Judd and Burris got a hand on it. Palmer. Perkins. Boy, football, we had to worry about so many Perkins people. But Reese, the only basketball
There's
player.
a long shot. Oh, nice shot.
How about that? That's Bo Oricchio, senior guard.
That's as close as John Glenn's been since the first basket.
Yeah, cuts the lead to 3. But that was a good timeout just moments ago. Baseline contested, and Burris altered the shot for sure. And then we're going to get it tied up on the floor.
I think that's going to go.
And the arrow should go to Sheridan.
Yep.
That'll get Nate Johnson and Daniel Miller into the game. And Kokonis and Russell will come out, get a little bit of a rest with under 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Miller, and out of the hands as Malone had already started to make the break.
Yeah, I think he saw that open lane to the basket.
They love running that back door against that 3-2, and he had already taken off. Timeout called as Sheridan now takes one, as they've seen their lead cut all the way down to 3, just under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Stay tuned. We are back. Kevin Rao and the coach Doug Clifford with you tonight at Sheridan High School. The gym named for Glenn Hersey, who one of the all-time leading scorers in Ohio high school history. Went to Glenford High School before Glenford and Thornville and Somerset all joined to form Sheridan High School. General steal the ball away.
Another turnover. The turnovers have been a big factor. Oh,
And
there's
there
another
we
one.
go. Malone was, last time he had broken early to the bucket. This time he was thinking about breaking early to the bucket. That'll get Kokonis back in. And Malone will sit down. The other person, we're just hearing him now announce the change. We know him as the voice of the MVL.
The voice of the NBL.
John Ulmer is the PA announcer, as he is in football. Been
Good
doing it
man.
a long time.
He's a good man.
Executive director of the Perry County Chamber of Commerce. And good guy, number one, but fantastic voice.
Yes, he.
We all wish we had that voice.
No doubt about that.
So John Glenn going to take their time. A three-pointer could tie it up. It's on its way. And Sheridan will come out of there. Miller with the rebound. Under 2 minutes now to go in the half.
That second shot for John Glenn remains a little elusive.
And again, working against Burris, and Burris
Nice block
alters
by
the
Burris.
first shot, blocks the next shot, and the held ball, but that should go to John Glenn, and it will. Burris, he just guards the rim. You know, you just, whether you get it blocked or not, it just changes the way you attack the rim. And the way Coach Sheridan's attacking that back door, he can change the play in a hurt.
No doubt about that. A little defensive pressure here by the Generals. Now they've backed off.
They're running that 3-2. Burris turnaround, no good there. He has to get his rebound taken away. Judd grabs it. Perkins dumps it down to Judd, right block. And off the glass, good. Cuts the lead to 1.
They got the second shot that time and took advantage of that.
After the first one, he said, I got to use the board. And he did.
25-24.
Daniel Miller. Ramped, around it goes. 3 on the way. No good from Nate Johnson, and
they're going to call Lucan Hill on the back that time. Yep.
Only the 15th foul against the Generals, so still not shooting. Under a minute to go now. 53.8 on the board.
I'm going to give this 3-man refereeing crew they let him play rating. And they have let him play the game today.
Definitely have. Almost stolen away. Good hustle by Nate Johnson. Judd almost loses it. Boy, you put it on the floor in the lane against Sheridan, there's a good chance there's going to be a hand on it.
Yep.
As now Reese Perkins, boy, he saw his team go down double digits, and they have battled back.
And they have a chance here to take the lead at halftime.
Perkins working against Hill. Judd. Perkins against pressure, puts it up hard. Sheridan had it for a minute. Ramf just couldn't quite hold on to it. 12.2, and John Glenn will draw up the play that you draw up in practice with not much time remaining from the baseline. They'll go 4 across. And they get Palmer at the free throw line. He'll back it out. Daniel Miller on him. All the way down, the long step.
And he makes it.
And John Glenn takes the lead. Half-court shot, no good. And I'll tell you, I don't think anybody saw this coming.
No, we did not.
John Glenn took an important timeout after they gave up a couple of three-pointers, and from that point on, they gunned up the engine. They end up taking the lead here at halftime, 26-25 on the road at Sheridan. We're going to put together some highlights for you of that first half, and there were a bunch of them. We'll come back with that right after this timeout. Well, Coach, the first half really tale of kind of two stories here. You had Sheridan jumping way out real quick, and we thought they'd just run away and hide. John Glenn had none of that.
I think you look at the turnover rate. In the first quarter, Sheridan stole everything except the paint off the floor. And in the second quarter, they're the ones who committed the turnovers, and John Glenn took advantage.
Here you see some early going, and Sheridan just found a way to get inside that 3-2 zone to get a double-digit lead. There's Malone on ending the good transition. Reese Perkins, though, just kept battling, keeping his team in it. Sheridan would answer. And again, they were running that baseline, Coach, against that zone. There's Reese Perkins again. By the way, here's Reese Perkins another time as it drops through. Sheridan, that time with Russell getting the three. Burris, the big guy from the corner. And again, they started trading back and forth a little bit. There was Russell again. There's Perkins. And again, just kind of back and forth. Hill dishing out. And that's Johnson with the three.
It's been a layup or a three-pointer.
Now, that was the point after that second three that John Glenn took the timeout. And then they answered. Ramft with a bucket in that flurry of John Glenn points. But you just saw a lot of work. There you have Judd. And then very good three from Aricchio. And coming down the stretch, another big three. And then Judd, the turnaround off the glass. And then here was the one that put him in the lead. And that's really how they were able to jump. There you see the breakdown by quarters. And again, the tale of two quarters. I could have said that a little better, I think. So it'll be exciting. Coach, what do you tell your guys if you're in either locker room here? Play like the first quarter or the second quarter?
I think Coach Fisher's going to tell his guys, catch the ball before you take off with it. Because they lost several passes there in the second quarter. That would have been easy shots, easy baskets, and they just messed them up.
Well, we'll see the corrections on everything here in just a little bit. It's been exciting. We didn't expect any less. We'll be back. Second half action right after this. Well, there you see the scoring in the first couple of quarters. And, again, Sheridan had the better of it in quarter one. John Glenn fought back to get the lead by a point with a good second quarter. And I'm sure there was a lot of instruction in the locker room at halftime for both squads.
I'm sure there was.
Sheridan will start out here at home with the ball to begin our third quarter. John Glenn, and there's Reese Perkins knocking it away. So the Muskies will have their first chance of this half. And they try to break back door. When they go to the wing, they'll look for that. Parmer working against Malone. Malone, very quick defender. It's just interesting, Coach, to see what defense Sheridan's going to run every time down the
Well, they're in a
floor.
man defense now, but I'm sure, give it 15 seconds, then it'll switch.
It will. And then they'll put some full court, half court, whatever they can dial up.
Right now they have to figure out how to get the ball in the basket again.
Burst, the big fella outside. Parmer will take it down the lane, up against pressure, and there's Hill for the rebound. He'll run it up himself. Spins off Burst. Judd there.
Oh, nice touch.
Neither one of the big guys got in his way.
Man, underhanded left-hand shot.
Gets his team back on top. Now some half court. Parmer dribbles his way out of what was going to be a double team.
I can see this lead going back and forth the entire second half here, the way things are shaping up.
Judd, and where we're going to get. Oh, we're going to get a. Tell you, there's one you don't see either. 3-second call. We've had a palming and a 3-second call tonight.
I mean,
if you had that on your bingo card,
I didn't even know they still called that.
We don't see it very much. Again, that used to be an all-the-time thing.
All the time.
When you had the big man on the block all the time,
man, yeah,
that was a key call in a game. Going backdoor Malone, but good backdoor defense by Aricchio.
I think John Glenn is repaying Sheridan for all those steals in the first half.
Parmer brought it up. Parmer, who goes backdoor there, doesn't get the pass, but he's only a sophomore for John Glenn. There he is with the ball. John Glenn not in a hurry, trailing it by just one now. And we're going to get a 5-second call.
Well, what's next? Flying wedge?
Well, I will say this. The same referee tonight has called the palming, the 3-second, and that 5-second was a good call. But, and again, not that the others weren't good calls, you just don't see them
That's
very
right.
much.
Oh, they were all good calls.
He must pack his rule book when he goes on the road. But they have, I think they've been very consistent tonight. It has been a physical game, but both teams have been allowed to be physical.
Well, I've not seen either coach really upset with any call made tonight.
And a lot of hands underneath it will go to John Glenn.
Well, all of a sudden, a team that couldn't miss can't even get a shot now. John Glenn's defense has absolutely shut down the offense.
They have indeed. Again, it's a little half-court pressure. There you got to beat the double team. What they did is they put the big fella out there. He just goes over top of him. Burris works his way out by just passing over this double team. We're going to get a foul here as Shea Taylor reaches in just a little bit. That is his third, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if he stays in the lineup.
That's our first foul of the second half for either team.
3 fouls this early in the half.
And right away, they'll get Nate Johnson off the bench. He's set to check in next stoppage. Parmer can't get around Ramth, so goes to Burris. Reese Perkins, he hasn't had the ball in his hands much here. And we're going to get a charging foul against Burris. Taylor drew it. Taylor's going to say, I was spinning sideways, not going at him, but we didn't see his offhand. Sometimes you get it called on your forearm as you make that move. Referee didn't hesitate. First foul against Burris. That had gone the other way. That would have been the fourth foul on Shea Taylor. And off the board, can't get, but Ramft right there to lay it back up and in.
Ramft. Rebound and right back up with it.
John Glenn's done pretty well beating the pressure. They do so once again as we approach the halfway point of this third quarter. Judd over the top, Burris spinning, left-handed layup, nice and soft. Gets it to go, gets his team to within one.
Nice execution on offense that time by the Muskies. Great pass, great left-handed shot.
Burris, good feed around the hoop. And
Yeah.
we're going to get a travel there.
Yeah.
I think Russell thought he might have a little contact.
Right, exactly.
And they kind of olayed him a little bit.
Yes, they did. He kind of leaned back, and there's nobody there, and his feet just kept going.
So under 4 minutes to go in the half. John Glenn trailing by 1. Muskies kept their poise when they got down big in the first half. And they will take their time working against that zone. Cross court, open look for Aricchio. No good this time. He nailed it last time. So we came down the stretch in the first half. Hill all the way, and he'll lay it up and in. And he was trying to pick the spot to go around Burris's hand.
That was just about a no-look shot that time.
Makes it a 3-point lead. Yeah, Burris, you have to be aware of him as you drive it in there, and Hill just went around him. Hill on this end runs the point out top. Aricchio looking for help, finds Palmer. Perkins, since that flurry in the first half, we haven't really seen him a lot on the offensive side here in the second half. If it were I'd be just worn out because he kept him in the ball game in the first quarter. And he'll have it here now. John Glenn just not in a hurry. You got to think, Coach, that John Glenn is satisfied with keeping it close as they go into the fourth quarter.
Well, I thought that was what they were doing in the first half. We just keep it close, and they ended up having a 1-point lead at halftime.
And
he's got to draw a foul on that one.
Reese Perkins.
Strong move to the basket. Obvious foul.
He leads the Muskies with 9, yet to score here in the second half. He'll have a couple here. He was 1 for 2 in the first half from the free throw line. And nails that one. Such a good athlete. And we've got a show coming up. We're going to preview a little later in the broadcast with a little thing the coach and I did to wrap up the football season. And needless to say, Reese Perkins was highlighted significantly.
Significantly.
And this one, so he stays at 50%. It'll belong to Sheridan as Perkins gets his squad to within a couple.
Ball went off Ben Judd's hand. He just nearly picked that thing off.
Two well-coached teams. It is evident as you watch this game.
Oh.
Little back door. Can't get it to go, but a good rebound for Malone. Cortez Graves back out on the floor, the senior for John Glenn. Saw a little bit of time in the first half. He tries to set himself down on the block, but good defense around him. Judd from the left corner.
3-point shots have dried up for the Muskies.
Russell will run it down. All the way down. Can't get it to go. Judd, the rebound on the floor. Boy, Hill, great effort, but just can't quite save it. Nate Johnson had the chance as he made the drive. It'll end up going to John Glenn on the team rebound.
I mean, how much body control do you have to nearly save that ball like Luke and Hill just did? I mean, he's falling down, backwards, upside down, spin around, and still got the ball saved, but just no one there to pick it up.
Braden Young back in there for John Glenn along with Skylar Bates. There's Young. And Judd, high post, looks to drive it, but when you put it on the floor against Sheridan, there will be somebody reaching for it.
You may not have to worry about bouncing it twice.
Miller in there. Daniel Miller out top. Hill thought about it. Said it'll be Johnson, and backside rebound pulled down by Burris. And Reese Perkins will run the point with less than a minute to go, third quarter. Pass down low, Burris lays it up and in.
Boy, nice pass by Perkins. Strong move by Burris. Man, nice execution.
Again,
nice
just
play.
Good feet by the big fella. Ramf down the lane. He comes and again splits that zone and lays it up and in and gets his team back out to 4 points in the lead. Young finds Burris away from the hoop in the lane. Burris fakes. He'll take it down himself, puts it up. He'll have a couple of shots coming up. Again, good footwork by Burris.
Ramp draws a foul.
That's his second. Team's third of this half. John Glenn, not a lot of fouls in the first half, only one so far here in the second half. Kokona set to check back in for Sheridan. Nice stroke by the 6'9" Devin Burris.
Nothing but net.
Kokonis in, Miller out. Graves back in for John Glenn. Aricchio back in as well. Burris next shot good. Cuts the Sheridan lead to 2. 18 seconds. It'll be Hill to trigger the offense, guarded by Reese Perkins. All the way down in the corner to Johnson. Gets the screen, little pick and roll. No good on the layup. Hill gets his own rebound, puts it up, and he's fouled with 3.5 seconds.
Nice play, nice effort by Hill.
We're talking about his just ability to maneuver. Oh, man. Judd will get back in there along with Malone as John Glenn will look to run the offense. Malone will come in. Little offense-defense thinking there by both coaches.
Luke and Hill is a fun guy to watch on the court.
And no good.
Can't
Burris
get the foul to go.
Collects it. Got to hurry. 1 second. Long shot from Reese Perkins. No good. And we have got a good one. John Glenn led it by 1 at halftime. Sheridan with a 4-point lead now after 3 quarters. The fourth quarter coming up. Don't go anywhere. John Glenn will have it to start this fourth quarter. Kevin Rao and the coach Doug Clifford with you tonight from Glen Hersey Gymnasium at Sheridan High School. Key MVL action. John Glenn trails it by 4. They will start with the basketball.
Had a 1-point lead to start the third quarter. Down by 4 now.
And they'll try to work around what is a zone now. Burris at the high post will look to distribute from there. He and Judd are interchangeable down low. Judd, just a strong character down there. He's able to get to the bucket. Both of them can shoot from outside the arc too, though. There's Burris outside the arc right side. Parmer, Aricchio. And John Glenn not in a hurry. They'd like to keep this as low scoring as possible. Perkins in the lane, tried to draw the foul, didn't get the call. Sheridan. All the way down. Kokonis no good. Judd with the rebound finds Reese Perkins.
He rushed his shot that time. Just a little too much speed going to the basket and just couldn't get that ball where he wanted it to go.
Perkins guarded by Malone. We go. Almost knocked away. Good defense from behind. Shea Taylor guarding Burris on the block. Burris having to really work for it against the pretty strong Shea Taylor, 6'2" junior. But he has given up 7 inches in height. Parmer had the look. He decides to take it. Tries to draw the foul, and it'll go out of bounds, belong to Sheridan. While I have just a second, want to recognize 4 young ladies who sang the national anthem tonight, all Sheridan students. It was beautiful. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. it made us proud to put our hands on our hearts up here and have it sung so well. And let's recognize them. That'll go out of bounds and stay in this end of the court. Grace Dowdle, Abby Tolliver, Kate Wilson, and Gracie Hamilton. And it was gorgeous. That's the way you draw it up.
Oh, it was a
if I were shooting a movie with a high school basketball game, that would be the anthem. So there you go. Thanks to those young ladies for a job well done. Sheridan with a 4-point lead. They're going to take their time to find the shot they want against that 3-2. They have like to get that back door, and there it is again, and Malone will lay it up and in.
It's a return to the first quarter play right there.
And if you're that backside on that 3-2, you just got to find a way to stick your foot in the ground down there, make them go around on the baseline. Easily said, however, when you're worried about helping on that backside. Burris, the long three. He'll go in and try to get his own rebound, but I think he knocked it out of bounds. He did. And we're going to are we getting a timeout? We are getting a timeout. We'll take it. 5:21 to go in this fourth quarter. 6-point lead for Sheridan here at home. We are back at Sheridan High School. Kevin Rao and the coach, Doug Clifford. We're going to see John Glenn with some full court man-to-man pressure in. Now they'll back it out. They were going to deny the entry pass. So 6-point lead for Sheridan. Ramf to look on the three, and he nails it.
Wow.
That's a big bucket.
Yes, it is.
Suddenly it's 9 points again. John Glenn had the 1-point lead at halftime. Good hustle by Malone. Knocks it out of bounds.
You know, Sheridan averages 68 points a game, and they're going to be held well below that tonight. But they can still score a lot of points in a hurry.
Well, you can see the game plan. John Glenn, they want to keep it close. Perkins down the lane, he'll draw the foul. He is able to get that call. Much to the chagrin that time of the Sheridan faithful. They didn't think he got fouled. He might have drawn it himself. Want to mention, by the way, we'll see him shoot the free throw here, that Coach and I just shot with the able help of our friends John Cox and Matt Mihalko. The Game of the Week top plays of 2019. Now, you're going to be able to see that streaming at that address that we just showed. And we hope you'll join us. We had the top 10 plays of the year from the football games we did. Rebound, Burris grabs it, and he'll get the bucket. That was, again, a big bucket.
Yep.
There you're going to see a foul right away on.
That's Reese Perkins.
Reese Perkins. So, again, we wrap up the Game of the Week. And well, not only do we have the top 10 plays, Coach, we had the Game of the Year.
Right.
And then you and I just pontificated about whatever we felt like, which was fun. But, yeah, great piece put together by Matt and John to do that.
I have a dictionary. I will find out what you said about me.
Going to stay with Sheridan, knocked off, I think, Burris's leg down there. So 7-point lead for the Generals. They've got the basketball. They'll run a stack on the baseline, and Tanner's going to go up, get it to go, and call the foul. And I think there's some discussion about the way they were defending that inbounds play. I think Perkins released someone. It's kind of like in football where you think the corner has help from the safety.
Right.
He didn't have that help.
Get their signals mixed up underneath.
Free throw, Burris will get the rebound. Double team, finds Perkins.
You know, at some point, John Glenn's going to have to score. I mean, it makes some nice passes here, but you don't get any points for passes.
Yep, 9 points the margin. Perkins down the baseline, tries to reverse it. Again, he's trying to draw a foul if he can, can't get the call.
He's getting knocked down and getting no calls, and there's,
nice pass.
Nice rebound by Judd.
Pass went from Hill to Ranft, and Ranft couldn't end it. Burris goes up, fakes, and he'll draw the foul, have a couple of shots coming up.
Well, he was open underneath for a long time, and he just didn't get the ball to him quickly enough.
So Burris to the line. We're going to get Skylar Bates back into the John Glenn lineup here in just a moment. Burris.
Well, he's been automatic from the free throw line.
He has a great touch, and Skylar Bates coming in for Devin Burris. If he makes this, that'll be a foot in height difference, as Bates at 5'9" replaces Burris at 6'9".
He made both those foul shots despite Santa Claus giving him the business underneath the basket down there.
You know, that's a little disconcerting, isn't
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They go the football pass, but Aricchio able to knock it away. But Sheridan will inbound it in front of their bench. But Aricchio, good job to prevent the layup on the long pass. And Malone will come over and get it just in time. Aricchio knocks it on the floor, and Palmer just can't quite get it before it touches the line. Referee right there makes a good call. And that Sheridan will do it all over again. They'll get it into Hill this time. Now Russell working against Palmer. Aricchio. Oh, sorry, Skylar Bates, and a great spin move by Shea Taylor. The junior lays it up and in again, a 9-point lead for Sheridan. Almost stolen away by Hill. Perkins, they pass around Palmer. Ends up with a 2-pointer, and he'll nail it. And Palmer, just a sophomore.
Well, he had Lucan Hill in his face for that shot. Never fazed him a bit.
We're going to see a lot of him, I get the feeling, over the next couple of years. We're going to get a foul out front on Bates. 15 foul against the Muskies. And Burris back in, and Bates will come out. Back in for Sheridan is Nate Johnson. Ranft will get a brief rest. Malone, Shea Taylor. Johnson Hill at the top. Sheridan not in a hurry with 2:25 to go. Leading by 7 now. Malone heads to the bucket. The teardrop, no good, but there's Taylor. No good, gets a rebound and lays it up in it. This time he stayed up in the air and did it.
The heck with coming down to the floor again. Let's just put it back up. Nice play.
Perkins almost a walk there. So he had a player jump in front of him making the pass. We hit the 2-minute mark. Burris looking for Judd on the block, can't get it to him. And Judd was down there, but he didn't go to him. Had an open look from the corner. Judd not happy that he didn't get the pass.
There it is.
Aricchio.
Nope.
And Russell down the lane. Boy, he got hit a little bit as he came down through there. He gets hit again, but no call. Sheridan. Johnson with the shot, no good. He'll battle with Judd, and we'll get a foul, I think.
I think that's going to go against Sheridan.
It is. It's going to go against Nate Johnson. 6-team foul. So next one, John Glenn will be shooting the one and bonus. Minute 27, and Sheridan not putting any pressure on in the backcourt with the big 9-point lead. Judd, Taylor on him. And almost stolen away Malone. Malone's such a good defender.
Boy, I'm telling you, he is quick.
He is a junior, but he is one of the better defenders in the league. Palmer trying to figure out as Sheridan packs in that zone a little bit. Perkins will drive against it, but finds himself in a double team. Palmer from the top, good! Big three-pointer gets his team to within 6. Couple of scores. See if they try to foul. They've got a foul to give. Russell to Hill. I think John Glenn might get a foul, and there we go. As Judd will foul Taylor, send Taylor to the line. Actually, that's not. I said they had one to give, so that will not be a shot. Next time it will be. I got to listen to myself as I talk about this. Sometimes the mouth just goes and goes.
I promise to start paying attention to you too, Kevin.
Thanks,
I apologize.
I appreciate that. My whole family appreciates it. 45.2 seconds.
Keep those cards and letters coming.
Perkins had the interception, but can't hang on, or did he?
Well, they're going to get the ball.
No, they're going to say Hill knocked it out of his hand.
Right.
Perkins, I would not throw deep near his area, ever. He just has the ability to catch anything in his zip code. And John Glenn will have it down just 2 scores. They need a quick bucket here. And Palmer.
Take it.
And Perkins will take that from the corner. Doesn't get it. Burris there. His shot blocked.
Wow.
And that was Hill coming from behind.
From behind. Nice block.
And John Glenn again needs to get a foul. Hill with it, and Palmer will draw it. And it will be Hill going to the line to shoot the 1-on-1. Again, I thank him once again. Nicole Hannes and Jeremiah McKenzie doing the broadcast last week. Coach and I unfortunately had to miss.
I want to thank them for bringing my hot pepper jelly.
Back from Morgan. Hill gets the first one.
That stuff is marvelous. I may have a hot pepper jelly problem here.
You know, and I got to admit, you shared this time, so thank you. My family thanks you. My family thanks you for a lot, apparently. Makes it a 3-point or 3-possession game and adds to that now an 8-point lead. 15 seconds to go. Perkins will run it down. Tell you what, I look forward to seeing the game in New Concord later this year between these two.
No doubt about it.
Burris will look on the 3, doesn't get the roll. Malone will get it, and that will run out the clock. It looked like Sheridan might run away and hide in the first half. John Glenn battled back to get a lead at halftime, and then Sheridan got the lead back and just found a way to hold on as they went back and forth. And, Coach, this is what we expect from these two teams. You may look on paper and one team undefeated, the other, but you know it, no matter what the records are, it's going to be a good ball game.
Every time these guys get together, it is. Hats off to the Muskies. They played a tough game, had the lead at halftime, just could not maintain that in the second half.
Well, we're going to take a quick time out. We will put some highlights together for you. Come back one final time here at Sheridan High School. Generals win it over John Glenn, 50-42. Back with our last segment right after this. Welcome back for the final time here at Sheridan High School. Kevin Rao and the coach, Doug Clifford. Coach, tonight, pretty easy to sum up. Sheridan hustled into a lead. We thought that they were going to win it big.
Right.
John Glenn didn't think that. They came back, got a halftime lead. Then all of a sudden Sheridan jumps back out, and it was kind of a seesaw back and forth with Sheridan just playing great defense down the stretch.
Well, it was a great game. Both teams came out. We thought it was going to be a high-scoring affair, and it turned out to be a defensive battle.
There you see Sheridan getting on the board, Malone. Burris right back lays it in. And again, they went back and forth. Hill there, just, boy, what a half he had second half. And again, some Rance with the long look. Burris, the big fella up against some pressure, puts it in. Boy, he's got such good footwork. He's gonna be a force all year long for that team. And nice move. I think that was Shea Taylor. Palmer for John Glenn, just a sophomore. There, Taylor got a couple of his own rebounds. He just wanted to add to his stats on that.
Got rebounds and shots. This is going to be a great rematch.
So there you see the scoring by quarters. And it was a seesaw in the first half in terms of the first and second, and then Sheridan got a little better of it as they clamped down the defense, Coach, keeping John Glenn to just single digits in both of those quarters, and that's how they got the win. And but I tell you, though, there are going to be a lot of wins. By the next time we see these two teams, they're going to have a lot of wins under their belt.
I would think so. I was just really impressed with how Sheridan just denied John Glenn a decent shot in the second half. I mean, they just didn't let him have a decent shot.
And if they put the ball on the floor, stole it away as well.
Stolen.
Two really well-coached teams here tonight. A close ball game. But I got to tell you, it'll be fun to see them when they meet each other in New Concord because, again, those coaches will go to work and get some things done. Hey, we're glad that you joined us tonight. Thanks for being along. It was 50-42 is our final. The Sheridan Generals win at home here over the John Glenn Little Muskies. For my broadcast partner tonight, as always, even though it is basketball, Doug Clifford, I'm Kevin Rao. Good night, everyone.